Hey, welcome back. Okay, so today we are going to do an AI versus AI type thing. I was really curious as to if a more old school-ish central Democrat ran against Donald Trump, what would happen? And you got to think the difference here. This is like the AI running a simulation on the political machine, and of course I'm not saying this is what would happen, but it's just an interesting idea of what a simulator of sorts thinks would happen. So, but you have to think some of these states are going to be a little weird. You know, Al Gore is from Tennessee. Bill Clinton did win a lot of the states in the South in the 90s. And so, this is going to be a little different because the really far left Democrats might not support Al Gore, especially in 2020. I don't know, they might more somewhat because of how they feel about Donald Trump, but I don't know. It really could depend. So this isn't going to be when you go into a simulation like this, you have to think everything would be completely different if the Democratic Party nominated someone like Al Gore in 2020. So the states are going to be completely different. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. As you can see right now, Michigan and Tennessee is a battleground state at the moment. Ohio, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and Texas are all supposedly locked down for Trump. Trump just won Michigan. He just threw his support behind something else though, and then Al Gore threw his support behind something behind education, and Pennsylvania flipped back over. So now Al Gore has Pennsylvania. I'm trying to think kind of too what the modern day battleground states is. So Missouri is still a little bit of a toss-up, as you can see. Colorado's a little bit of a toss-up. Nevada, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Okay, so now Colorado just went to Al Gore so far. I mean, of course it could change. Tennessee's still a battleground. New Jersey's a battleground. Trump just locked down New Hampshire. You have to think in this scenario too, like I said, a lot of the farther left Democrats would be probably supporting a different third-party candidate or something. So that's why some of these states is going to be split up the vote in a way to where Trump might win them, even if they're a far left state, because the Democratic Party would be split between the third party and Al Gore in a lot of these ways. So this does make a little bit of sense, but at the same time it's a little weird to see. Louisiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Connecticut, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Florida is all battleground states right now. Pennsylvania just went battleground. Wisconsin just went battleground. New Mexico just flipped for Al Gore. Tennessee just got locked for Trump. Connecticut, New Jersey, Pennsylvania still battleground. Louisiana just went battleground again. Trump just took a hit. One of his operatives went away, so now Al Gore has Florida locked down. Florida just went back to toss-up. Things are changing very fast here. Like I said, everything would be just so different. This simulation doesn't really show those numbers, but like I said, there would probably be a third-party candidate splitting the Democratic ticket, and Trump is, as you can see, winning a lot of these states that there is no way he would be winning currently, but this would be a completely different landscape if this happened. So like I said, you have to remove yourself from what's actually going on now and just kind of think of I don't know, a completely different reality or different thing, I don't know. So Al Gore won Pennsylvania and Florida, so it's kind of possible, but I don't know because Trump won a lot of the Northeast. I don't think Al Gore is going to win here. Louisiana's going for Trump, okay. Missouri... Okay, that's going for Trump. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, Al Gore. That's interesting. Al Gore lost Minnesota, and Minnesota's voted for the Democrats for a longest streak of any state in the country. Very interesting. Wisconsin still went for Al Gore, though. That's also interesting. Okay. Oh, I'm surprised Al Gore still won Nevada. And then Oregon went for Trump. Okay, so yeah, this isn't a realistic as in this is going to happen in 2020 because it's not with Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. But this is a very centralist Democrat, really kind of comparable to a modern day central, I don't know, Republican maybe? Al Gore is very central. So let's go ahead and see what would happen with Pete Buttigieg. I'm not really sure exactly on a lot of his policies, so I'm not sure exactly where he stands, but I know he's from Indiana. Indiana voted for the Democrats not too long ago. So I was kind of curious if Pete could flip Indiana. And right now he's leading in Indiana. So that's one of the surprises right now. Right now, Oregon, Nevada, Colorado, and all of these states are on the edge. None of them are true battlegrounds yet, though. All of them have a lead, but it's not like super like competitive, like in the spotlight right now. Again, this is going to be like Al Gore, where it would be not like Al Gore, but like it's going to be a different reality than 2016 a little bit, possibly. Like I said, I'm not sure exactly all of Pete's policies, so I don't know how different this is from Joe Biden or someone that's running now. As you can see right now, it looks very bad for Pete. Pete's behind. Trump is leading in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Oregon. Virginia isn't locked down for the Democrats still. New Hampshire's still not locked down for the Democrats. Ohio or Indiana's okay. Now Indiana just went back to Pete. Pete just threw his support behind education. Michigan's gray now. There for a second, New Hampshire went blue, but then it went back gray again because Trump threw his support behind something. Florida is now officially a battleground state. Pete just lost Washington State, which is really major. So Pete really has some work to do in this scenario for it to get turned around. Colorado's gray now. Wisconsin just went for Trump. Minnesota's for Trump. Trump has a base in Minnesota on this map. So Pete really needs to visit Minnesota or build a base there. Okay, both of them just threw their support behind several things, and that completely flipped the map. Trump's now leading in modern day battlegrounds he was in Michigan, but he's still leading in Texas, Georgia. He was leading for a second in Florida, but now it's a battleground again. Battlegrounds in Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina. This is really close. Virginia's gray. It could be any way. Oregon could go any way. Wisconsin could go any way. Colorado could go any way. It's really interesting that Pete's doing decently in Indiana, though. I know Trump doesn't look like he has a battleground or a headquarters there, so it doesn't look like Trump's really visited Indiana too much. So really, all it would take is Trump to visit Indiana a little bit, and he would probably get it back. So Pete just went to Oregon. He'll probably get that back now, I would assume. Pete just visited Minnesota. He's going to need those Rust Belt states up there if he wants to win the election here. Alright, now we've seen Minnesota go deep red for Trump. It's still possible, though, for Pete to flip it, but he would have to do a lot of work there. Okay, Trump just got Indiana. Oklahoma just went as a battleground state, and that's only because Pete, for some reason in this simulation, is targeting Oklahoma as one of his states, and I'm not sure why exactly, but with Pete, I think is a little bit more centralist than some Democrats. I'm not sure exactly. Like I said, I'm not sure all of his policies. Okay, Ohio went for Trump. Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina. A lot of the South is going battleground states in Nevada, New Mexico. Wow. Oklahoma, North Carolina, Mississippi just went battleground. Arkansas just went battleground. Florida, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Michigan, Wisconsin, all battleground. Okay, wow, a lot of the southern states was battleground. This really could go either way, because Trump's leading in a lot of normal Democratic states, and Pete's actually competitive in a lot of the normal Republican states, so this is going to be really interesting here. Okay, Pete won Pennsylvania. I almost said Biden. Oh, Trump won North Carolina. Okay. I was going to say, with Pennsylvania going for Pete, it was kind of leaning towards him, but okay, Trump won Ohio. This might be good for Trump, bad for Pete. Oh, wow, Trump just won Michigan. Oh, okay. Ooh, okay. Oh, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't think Pete's going to win. Oh, wow, Pete won Missouri and Iowa. Missouri voted for Democrats not too long ago, and it used to be a bellwether state, so it's not out of the realm of possibility, but it is really interesting that the Rust Belt still went for Trump, but Missouri went for Pete. Very interesting. Okay, he won New Mexico and Colorado at least, so he has a shot. Okay, with California included, he'll probably win. Trump did win Oregon, though, still. I seen Trump had some operatives there, though, so he really fought for it at the end, it looked like. Okay, that was a very close election. However, Pete did come out narrowly on top, so let's go ahead and look at the map here. So yeah, as you can see, the operatives in Oregon, so that's why that is. Going to hover over some of the percentages here so we can kind of see more of what's going on. A lot of these are a little farther apart than I feel like they would actually be. I don't think a map like this would be completely out of the realm of possibility if things on a social and political landscape happened in just the perfect way. It would be possible. You have to think too, when a map place like 538 or Predicta or Real Clear Politics or any of these places predicts the elections, they have thousands and thousands of possible outcomes for the election, and this is just one of them that would be possible in this. I mean, it could go so many different ways with Pete and Trump. I'm not saying this is what would happen, but it is very interesting that this is a possibility of what could happen if Pete and Trump went against each other in an election. Of course, if Trump loses this time, he could run in 2024, and if Biden decided not to run for a second term, Pete could run in 2024. Although I think it's probably more realistic Kamala would, but it's possible Pete could. But yeah, this is like what this AI is saying would happen. The popular vote, as you can see, is very much in Pete's favor, which is interesting. The Electoral College is that close, but we won't get into that. That's another video for another story. Let me know what you guys think of this. I know it was a little different. I wasn't really playing the game, but like, let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.